That sounds good. Well, as Wrigley walks in the room and climbs under my desk because he seems to be my shadow. Okay, we're going to do updates and user emails. Well, this is just an update from last week, but Bitfinex's wallet hacker returns most of the 20 million back to the U.S. government. A malicious actor who drained the United States government wallet of approximately 20 million on October 24th, containing seized funds from the 2016 Bitfinex hack, returned 19.3 million to the government wallet less than 24 hours later. So maybe he did not know which wallet it was, or maybe he did, or maybe it was an inside job, but it looks like we, the people, well, I guess them, have that 20 million back. So we're going to go into scams and hacks, and we don't have that much this week, but as promised, we're going to talk about MFA and how it works and what we want to do. And this is just a quick overhaul or a quick overview of it, but there are four types. There's know something, there's possession, something you have, there's inheritance, something you are, and location. And really what I want to point out is the importance of MFA. And like I said, I'm going to continue to say it at least until the end of the year. So people that don't have it will put it in and be like, oh, yeah, maybe I don't have it on my email or my exchanges or my bank or something that's going to cause you a lot of pain later on if someone breaks into your account. So, one of the easiest one is time-based, the app that you put on your phone. SMS, text message, no way, don't do it. It's a false sense of security. Email token, nope, that's a false sense of security, especially if your email is taken over. Hardware key, that's another really good one. Biometric, if you choose, but sometimes that's limited, to a desktop or your phone. If it has biometrics on it. And security questions, those are kind of, down the way, and risk-based authentication. And you're probably not going to use any of those. But biometric, hardware, and time-based, which is the app, those are the ones that you really need to focus on and put multiple options on. So if you're going to use an app, also do a hardware key and have it backed up like that. So just something to think about. And if you don't have, do it, please. So fake curve finance app scams users, tops global finance charts. A counterfeit application posing as the decentralized finance or DeFi platform Curve Finance has gained traction on Apple's App Store, ranking among the top 100 finance apps on October 26th. Despite being flagged by multiple users as a scam, the app is trending in regions including Europe, Latin America, New Zealand, the United States, Southeast Asia, putting unsuspecting users at risk. However, the app's poorly crafted store description could still impact vulnerable users. It states, Curve DeFi V3 is an amazing app. Arrange the blocks to make a perfect row and clear it. So, if you see something like that in a description, it probably is not from who you think it is. So we're going to go on to crypto news. Unsustained Tether investigation report shakes crypto market. The United States federal government is investigating stablecoin issuer Tether. The Wall Street Journal reported in an exclusive article October 25th, citing people familiar with the matter. Tether CEO called the story old noise, but sent a shudder through cryptocurrency markets. Simultaneously, the Treasury Department is considering sanctioning Tether because its widespread use by individuals and groups sanctioned by the U.S., including the terrorist group Hamas and Russian arms dealers, the newspaper reported. But, there is a little rebuttal. And he came back and said, Tether is doing the best we can to track down illicit crypto use, CEO Paulo Andrino told CoinDesk. USDT's role in illicit finance is a drop in the ocean compared to the US dollar, he added, as well as, we may not be the best in presenting ourselves, but what matters is we are onboarding the FBI to Tether's compliance system, he added. We onboarded the U.S. Secret Service, and we have a thank you letter from the DOJ. We think we are doing, the best we can. So, there is a lot of FUD. They'd like to get them out of the race because they are earning a ton of money, and we'll see what happens. This one really kind of surprised me, but Crypto.com overtakes Coinbase to dominate North American crypto trading, data shows. Digital asset trading on Crypto.com has exploded this year, pushing the crypto exchange's volume in North America well ahead of Coinbase. Crypto.com's monthly spot trading volume soared to 134 billion in September, up from 34 billion in July. I think retail is saying that they want in, according to the data from Block. Overall trading volumes on North American crypto exchanges was 183 billion in September, in which Coinbase handled about 46 billion. A key reason for Crypto.com's popularity could be the wide range of tokens it offers. It lists over 378, ranging from mainstays Bitcoin and Ether to meme coins such as Book and others. BTC and ETH trading dominated Crypto.com, accounting for more than 85% of all trading activity across Tether's USDT stablecoin and US dollar pairs. So it's, I guess they were unseated, and Crypto.com, which I've never used. I've asked a couple of my clients, and they're like, yeah, I've never used them either. We really like Caleb Brown. So BlackRock Bitcoin ETF breaks 30 billion. US ETFs hit 1 million BTC holdings. BlackRock's spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF has surpassed 30 billion in holdings, reflecting an increasing demand from the world's leading cryptocurrency. The world's largest asset manager reached 30 billion mark in less than 10 months after launching its Bitcoin ETF, which began trading January 10th. BlackRock currently holds 417,000 Bitcoin, worth over 30.4 billion in today's market valuation. And if you look down here, I was kind of surprised who held what. And so, we have Satoshi Nakamoto, 1.1 million. And it looks like U.S. government has still about 203,000. The Chinese government has 194,000. And then we have, the others that are ETFs and exchanges. But, the U.S. government and the Chinese government still hold a lot of Bitcoin. Florida officials want Bitcoin included in state pension funds. Florida's chief financial officer wants the agency that manages the state's retirement funds to consider investing in Bitcoin, joining a growing number of American states adding crypto to their portfolio. Well, we've covered those states before. We talked about Wisconsin. They added back in January and April. We talked about Michigan. They did it earlier in the year somewhere. And I did not know about this one, or maybe I did and I forgot, but Arizona is looking at adding it to their pension program. So it's kind of great to see states doing that, and we'll talk more about large companies doing that too. So we're on to technology news. What happens to Bitcoin price if Microsoft shareholders vote to buy Bitcoin? On October 24th, a filing by Microsoft with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission revealed an unexpected item in the agenda for its upcoming annual shareholder meeting on December 10th. Alongside routine votes such as election of directors, ratification of its independent auditor, and reports of AI misinformation, one proposal stood out: an investment in Bitcoin. Interestingly, Microsoft's board recommended shareholders vote against it. Of course they did. As its second quarter 2024 financial report, Microsoft held 76 billion in cash and equivalents. If shareholders push the company to allocate 10% of that to Bitcoin, it would represent a massive $7.6 billion investment. I know Apple, depending on where you look, they have about $161 billion in cash. Just think if they put 10% in. If Microsoft votes to allocate some of their treasury to Bitcoin and others follow, that really could push Bitcoin up and really help the Bitcoin market. So US says Chinese hackers breached multiple telecom providers. And I'm wondering if they breached mine the other day, because I woke up early and it was down for hours and hours. I tried to reach the support. I tried to reach the website, and it was nothing. The FBI and the U.S. cybersecurity infrastructure security agencies have disclosed that Chinese hackers breached commercial telecommunication service providers in the United States. The breach entities have been warned, and the agencies are proactively alerting other potential targets of the elevated cyber activity. The U.S. government is investigating the unauthorized access to commercial telecommunications infrastructure by actors affiliated with the People's Republic of China, reads the announcement. After the FBI identified specific malicious activity targeting the sector, the FBI and the Security and Infrastructure Security Agency immediately notified affected companies, rendered technical assistance, and rapidly shared information to assist other potential victims. So good on them for sharing that information, letting people know. Amazon seizes domains used in rogue remote desktop campaign to steal data. Amazon seized domains used by Russia's APT29 hacking group in targeted attacks against government and military organizations to steal Windows credentials and data using malicious remote desktop protocol connection files. APT29, also known as Cozy Bear and Midnight Blizzard, is a Russian state-sponsored cybersecurity group linked to Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service. Amazon clarifies that although the phishing page APT29 used were made to appear as AWS domains, neither Amazon nor credentials for its cloud platform were directly targeted by these attacks. Rather, APT sought its targets' Windows credentials through Microsoft Remote Desktop. Upon learning of this activity, we immediately initiated a process of seizing the domains APT29 was using, which impersonated AWS in order to interrupt the operations. I would find it interesting being on the other side of these news articles outside of this country and see how other countries look at our state-sponsored initiatives to attack other countries. We never really hear about state-sponsored attacks within here, but I'm sure we have quite a few that are out there. WhatsApp now encrypts contact database for privacy-preserving syncing. The WhatsApp Messenger platform has introduced Identity Proof Linked Storage, or IPLS, a new privacy-preserving encrypted storage system designed for contact management. The new system solves two long-standing problems WhatsApp users have been dealing with for years, namely risk of losing their contacts list if they lose their phone and the inability to sync contacts between different devices. With IPLS, WhatsApp contact lists now bind to the account rather than the device, allowing users to easily manage them between devices or replacements. I don't use that, but we will see if you do and how you like it. So concerns raised over Bitwarden moving further away from open source. I am not a Bitwarden user. I know that there are Bitwarden users out there, but it's good to know that what was portrayed as an open source password manager, that is changing, and it's opening some criticism to Bitwarden on why they're doing it. And more than anything, it's just good to know that the landscape is changing, and just be aware there's nothing that you need to change, but just to be aware. So severe flaws in E2EE cloud storage platforms used by millions. Several end-to-end encrypted or E2EE cloud storage platforms are vulnerable to a set of security issues that could expose user data to malicious actors. Cryptographic analysis from ETH Zurich researchers Jonas Hoffman and Kain Tong Tu revealed issues with cloud or with Sync, pCloud, IceDrive, C-File, and TreasureIt, services collectively used by more than 22 million people. The analyst was based on the threat model of an attacker controlling a malicious server that can read, modify, inject data at will, which is realistic for nation-state actors and sophisticated hackers. The team comments that many of the discovered flaws directly oppose the marketing promises of the platform, which creates a deceptive and false premise for customers. It's just good to know that when you're storing things in the cloud, you always have that risk. You don't know what you don't know. They don't know what they don't know. And there could be holes and flaws in their software. So the best way really is to keep files that you feel are sensitive locally encrypted on your network, and more so really on a localized hard drive. And there's lots of great ways to back it up, keep it in multiple places, but you just don't know what the vulnerabilities are. And if you use one of these services, just be aware of that. Now that this is out, they should be addressing that. But until they do, just be careful. And one of the things that I think when I get questions from people saying, "Hey, is this a good software? It's new," or some of the Android phones that are de-Googled, that type of thing. You got to be careful because small companies have a small group of engineers. And when you have a small group of engineers, you're pretty much either putting out fires or trying to get you're trying to get new pieces or new advances in the software. And that kind of brought this up with Apple being as large as they are, and how, and also Microsoft, where Patch Tuesday they could patch 79 different things that would have caused issues in their operating system. And when you have a big company, they are going to have a big engineering team. When you have a small company, you really have to be careful. Are they just adding new features to their operating system or functionality, or are they really looking at their core piece of software to make sure that there are no vulnerabilities? But Apple will pay security researchers up to $1 million to hack its private AI cloud. Ahead of the debut of Apple's private AI cloud next week, which was this week, dubbed Private Cloud Compute, the technology giant says it will pay security researchers up to $1 million to find vulnerabilities that can compromise the security of its private AI cloud. In a post on Apple's security blog, the company said it would pay up to a maximum of $1 million bounty to anyone who could report exploit capabilities remotely running malicious code on its private cloud compute servers. Apple said it would also reward researchers up to $250,000 for privately reporting exploits capable of extracting users' sensitive information or prompts that customers submit to the company's private cloud. So it's nice that Apple is doing that. And of course, if you have upgraded your phones, Apple really, or desktops, Apple releases Apple Intelligence. Here's how to get it on your phone. Apple on Monday released iOS 18.1, an update for iPhones that include the first public versions of Apple Intelligence, Apple's artificial intelligence system. It also released software updates for iPad and Mac with Apple Intelligence. The release is a critical milestone for Apple, which is relying on its feature launch to power its marketing campaign for the iPhone 16 lineup, which was released last month. You need to have an iPhone Pro 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, or any iPhone 16 model to install and use Apple Intelligence. I did upgrade the other day. I haven't played with it to see if it's really worth it. I know there's some security concerns with people. But as we move forward, and as Jay has talked about, putting OpenAI's app on your phone and using that day to day, you have to think about, do you want some convenience as well as security, or do you just want to bar any new features in your life and really focus on privacy? So that's up to each individual person. And I can't make that decision for you. And maybe there's a happy balance in there. But just info for fun, just because I love to poke fun at San Francisco. But San Francisco to pay $212 million to end its reliance on 5.25-inch floppy disks. Do people remember those? They went to 3.5-inch quite a while ago, and 5.25-inch. That I can't believe it. The San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency board has agreed to spend $212 million to get its Muni Metro light rail off floppy disks. The Muni Metro automatic train control system has required 5.25-inch floppy disks since 1998 when it installed at San Francisco's Market Street subway station. The system uses 3 floppy disks for loading DOS software that controls the system's central servers. I remember when that happened. I was working in the city at that point in time, and that was a long time ago. The new control system is supposed to be 5 generations ahead of what Muni is currently using. Per the Chronicle. Further in illustrating the light rail's data tech, the current ATCS was designed to last 20 to 25 years, meaning its expected expiration date was last year in 2023. So San Francisco, the heart of, tech, and you're using something that is, really, really old. So, Jay, that's all I have for today. Back to you.